That looked pretty good.
Got it over the fence.
Of course you did. Hey guys, Christo Garcia, My Swing Evolution. I've got a cool video today with my friend Alex. We call him the Hulk, okay? He just shot 57. So before I dig into all that, I just want to tell my Hogan folks out there, a lot of people were trying to use my code to get 10% off on Hogan golf clubs, which are dynamite. And they had to reset my code because December 31st, you have to renew it. So that's back live, and that's all good. So also real quick, MSC Intensive, February 5th and 6th. We're going to be going through the Hogan stuff, Trevino stuff, a lot more, many guests. It's going to be dynamite. So hit me up if you want to come down. February 5th and 6th, Christo at myswingevolution.com. I'm also taking on a few clients to work out with me, okay? It can be remote coaching, whatever, but one of my local buddies that I used to work with in television wanted to get in shape, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll do this with a few people because I'm getting in shape. I've been eating great since December 26th. My diet is very clean. So I expect by April to be very, very ripped. So hit me up if you're interested in that and you want to be a part of this handful of people that are going to be training with me, online coaching, etc. So my buddy Hulk, okay, I can hit a solid drive, say 280, even 300, and he'll be 40 yards in front of me, and he's playing from the gold tees behind me. He hits it a mile. He's very, very long, but he makes so many birdies. He can hit every shot in the book. Solid iron, solid short game, putting. If you shoot 57, you are an amazing golfer. It's so crazy because I'm trying to break into the 60s, and this joker just shot 14 under at Almanzar. Okay, I actually haven't played there before, but that's the course record. That's very, very impressive to me. So we're going to talk about Alex's swing. Now, I'll tell you, I thought I was going to be able to go out and play with him on Tuesday, but the groups were not set up that I could do that. So I'm going to have to follow up with Alex and get the whole story about shooting 57. But today we're going to take a look at his dynamite golf swing. As always, if you guys love this content, please click subscribe, hit a like, leave a comment. If you want more in-depth information about how I stay in shape and how I work on my golf game, go to myswingevolution.com where I have MSE TV. Okay, let's dig in. Hey man, what's your lowest round?
57. Course record. Well, tied the course record.
What's the par there?
71. Home course.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick, dude.
Thank you. Last one.
So here we are warming up before the Skins game. Now Alex, he's just a monster. So here's me hitting a few drivers here. It's nice 275-yard drives. Nothing too crazy, pretty straight. So I switched the angle up here. Now these are limited flight golf balls. So that makes it even crazier that he can hit it over. So you can just hear the difference in how much speed he has. So check this out. Just crush. Like, I can hit a good solid drive and Alex will be 50, 60 yards ahead. Easy. That's huge. So let's take a look at a couple of his swings in slow motion. This swing I find very interesting. You can see how far he's hitting that limited flight golf ball. It's crazy. But specifically what I want to point out is Alex's footwork. So he makes a really full shoulder turn, doesn't really pick up his lead heel too much, but he does. But you can see how much power he's got that he's loading down into his legs. That's just such great leg work. Tons of lag coming down into the ball, and you can just see that he's going to crush it. Now, I want you to pay attention to his left foot here. He leaps off of the ground. Isn't that crazy? That is just like Bubba Watson. So that's how he gets that speed. Now, I'll tell you, the thing that I've always wondered is I'm like, well, if you're jumping around like that, can you be very accurate? Let me tell you, you can't shoot 57 without being super duper accurate. He's a great golfer. He makes a lot of birdies. He hits it really far, you know. So like there'll be long holes like 495, and he has like pitching wedge in. You know, it's like the game is so crazy easy for these guys at this elite level. Now let's look at his swing down the line. Once again, I don't have the camera directly behind him. Well, we get a pretty good idea of what's going on here. Yeah, he's just crushing. Swings vary on plane. I like this very much. I want to point this out. See how nicely he swings around his body? The club isn't really inside or outside. It's pretty much straight back on plane. Really loads into his right hip too. That's another thing that I really like. So he turns around that trail leg like it's a post. And he gets ready to just hammer this sucker. Now I want to point out his right elbow drive. He has more of a modern swinger elbow move, a la a Dustin Johnson. And he has a full release. I actually saw him rehearsing it, where he's not holding back on that release. You see those wrists? I mean, that's a last minute burst of bonus speed right there. Just tremendous. And if you watch here, we can see his footwork as well. You'll notice that his pre-release position, his Shangri-La is a little bit higher, a la Phil Mickelson. This is coming down through the shoulder and the right bicep. That's another thing that the modern clubs, you see guys swinging this way as opposed to the back in the day when we had the steel heavy shafts and the wooden golf clubs. So I want to point out one more thing that I find very interesting, and this again is on that same wavelength of the modern driver. And what we're going to see here, I'm going to put a line on his shaft plane. He takes it right back up the plane like we talked about. But watch this. He's pulling down through the shoulder. And he's got that handle raised higher. Again, like I said, Phil Mickelson. But, you know, one of the old school guys that did this was Jack Nicklaus. He had a delivery position very similar to this. Phil and Jack are long. The Hulk is long. Man, he gets it out there. Just makes it look so easy. So here we can see a comparison of his address position and his impact position side by side. A little bit different. So let's watch this a couple more times. So great to meet these amazing golfers. I feel honored every day that I get to hang out and play with these guys. Hit them long and hit them straight, fellas.
What's your plan of attack, soldier?